to all the great things we're going to do together.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes.
Up here, they are very intelligent, they are self-developed, they have they've invested in themselves, and I'm proud to have you in the studio, and I'm looking forward to have you back. So my understanding of what empowerment is the ability to actually encourage others, motivate others when they are weak, so that they will have the capacity to tap from your motivation in order to enhance or help themselves. So empowerment is actually enhancing others, to giving them the tools to help themselves. So that is my understanding of what empowerment is. But today we have these gorgeous, beautiful ladies in the house. They'll be shedding light on what empowerment is. And I hope as they discuss this issue, you benefit from it and you'll be able to utilize what they are going to say in this show today. So what do you ladies understand by the term empowerment from your own understanding? Anyone can just come in, feel free.
I can start.
Yes.
For me, I think empowerment is bringing out the best in you or in other person.
Okay.
Through exactly what you've said, encouragement, providing the person constructive feedbacks, and actually encourage the person to be resilient in trying to overcome their challenges.
Wow.
I think that's for me.
Yeah.
Empowerment means.
I think empowerment is also being an example for other young women to see that anything is possible, and by watching you and talking about your life and talking about stories, and as women share stories, then other women know that, hey, I could do that too.
Yes.
So I think that's part of inspiring others as well.
Yeah, that sounds that's so true. I would say I'm just going to say something that actually I would say it was a feedback, and it also actually empowered me. I would say it was more of a constructive feedback. You know, I happen to have this beautiful lady, Felicia, with me, and you know, we were running late, and she was actually patient. But after everything, she gave me a very powerful constructive feedback, which did really empower me. She said, you know what, when you are running late next time, it's okay for you to just test your guests. Tell them, okay, we are short of time and we'll be back. We'll be holding the show maybe 30 minutes, we'll be running late 30 minutes or whatever. You know, I was able to use that as a tool to help myself. Actually worked. I was empowered, and I changed my ways. So thank you very much, Felicia.
My pleasure.
So yeah, so we actually have to empower ourselves using different means to help each other. Yeah.
Like I'm going to add to what my colleague said here. When she talks about story as an empowerment tool, that is so true. Because I've had a lot of people, they've told me how I've empowered them. Because when I came to Canada, I was already too old. So going back to school, pregnant, had my backpack in my back, and going through all those things, now becoming a registered social worker. I had so many people, they just hold me on the street and say, oh, you empowered me to go back to school. So you're so right.
Yeah, that's so true.
And I want to say that empowerment is not just trying to motivate somebody that is down. There are some people that are up to that need their ideas or their person to be validated. That is also a form of empowerment.
Yes.
If you are in that position and you maybe you've seen somebody that is a billionaire, or you know, that person also has some issues.
Yes.
Don't just write them up and say, oh, they have they have it all. No, there's nobody that have it all. So if you're in that kind of a situation, it is is also good for somebody to validate you. You know, it's not just people that are down that needs empowerment. People that are up also need empowerment.
Oh, that brings me to one movie we used to watch back in the days. It's called The Rich Also Cry. I don't know if any of you. So that was a long time ago. That should be like 20-something years ago. You know, you wonder how the rich, how come? You know, at least they have everything to themselves. They don't need to cry. Yes, they do cry. So we have to actually look at it from that perspective too. That is, if I'm understanding what you were saying, we don't have to just think, okay, they have it all and they also have the power. So they might have their own low moments too, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was hammering on. It's not just everybody's sitting down. You know, there are people that you might not actually think need your self-reflection or your words, your motivation.
Yes.
They also need it too.
Wow.
So I'm just saying, in general, I don't pass anybody by.
Okay, that's a very good one. That's a very good one. Trust me.
For me, empowerment is more of inner strength. You know, you look inside yourself and you find that for that particular thing that you can hold on to and will help motivate you to every obstacle and every catapult in your life, right? So, and usually when we look around and we see stories of other people, we learn from those things, and that's what really tends to help drive us home even more so. So yeah, that's what empowerment for me really looks like.
Oh, so that is another good aspect of empowerment, actually looking at your inner strengths, how you can help yourself. It's very, very good, So that brings me to our next discussion, because it's not, I wouldn't say it's the question, it's our next discussion. When you envision an empowered woman, what do you see? Like, when you envision an empowered woman, what do you see?
I see confidence,
Okay.
self-esteem, what else will I say? I see when it comes to a vision, success, advancement,
Okay.
Resiliency.
Okay.
There's so many things. When you envision somebody who is empowered, somebody that is able to overcome a lot of challenges, somebody that is very, very powerful, strong. That's for me. That's what I see.
I think just like she said, I think it's persistence too, because a lot of times people think someone empowered has everything going and everything's perfect all the time. But it's sometimes those people that go through trials and go through problems and they're able to overcome those and keep going no matter what, and they don't let anything stop them and they don't back down to anything. I think to me that's an empowered woman.
That's good.
So what I'm hearing you say is, I really love it. It's a way you say in social ways, mirroring yourself, giving feedback. And what I'm hearing you say is empowerment is not just all glassy. You understand? Empowerment doesn't mean that there will be no tears on the way. There are a lot of tears on the way. You understand? Empowerment doesn't mean that there's always food on the table. There may be some scarcity. But those people that are able to rise above those situations, they are the empowered ones.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
I really love that.
Oh, that's good.
Well, I agree with all of you ladies. I don't know how I can add to that really. The only other word that comes to mind is bold. Like women in power are bold. That's, but I agree 100%.
Yeah. So that brings us to our next discussion, which is why do you think some women feel powerless and voiceless even in this time and age? Some women still feel, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if people will like what I'm doing. I don't know if this thing that I'm planning to do will cause issues. By so doing, trying to silence their own voice. They actually have something that they have passion for, but they can't actually come forward to bring their vision or their passion to life based on the fact that they feel like, okay, they're thinking of what other people will think about them. Right. So that kind of subdue their own power, suppresses their power and suppresses their passion. So what do you think? What causes that?
Fear.
Okay, for me, I think a lot of things cause women to have this powerlessness in the society. I'll talk about fear is number one, just like you said. And there are societal fears that are imposed on especially women, you know, through media, messaging, stereotyping, and the gender gaps that is, you know, inscribed into the system.
Yes.
Makes a lot of women to feel they can do it.
Yes.
And they have to listen, you know, that validation from another person in order for them to be convinced that they can do it. So I think that's what I think.
That is very powerful, because just to add on to what you've said, I feel like fear is one big thing. And again, if we are going to, because we have so many areas that we can actually draw, in order to elaborate on this issue about why women are voiceless, even in this time and age. Media has a lot of impact to do. The body type. Let's use body type. So if I was to, I'm gonna use myself. I'm gonna use myself as an example. I don't have the, so to speak, the perfect figure that will be accepted in the media, but hello, I'm not scared. I'm here. So I want you, if you're afraid or scared of doing anything, emulate me. Look at me, big is beautiful. And just face your fear and be who you want to be. The first thing for us to do is to actually eliminate our fear. Before I started this show, I remember, I'm going to use my own lived experience. As I've said before, this is not just something that we are just going to discuss. Before I started this show, I was actually afraid. I was afraid. Seriously, I was afraid. But I'm so thankful today that I'm actually carrying out what I love to do, because I was empowered by people that believed in me. They were more positive and they believed in my passion. They were able to help me sit here today. So when I say they believed in me, how did they believe in me? I'm going to tell you. Okay, first and foremost, I told my sister, I said, you know what, this is what I think. I'm thinking of something. I feel like doing this thing, but I just don't know how to do it. She said, you know what, if you're thinking about it, let's do it then. I was like, really? She said, yes. We are going to post this on YouTube. And I said, oh my God, who is going to watch this? She said, don't worry, people will watch. I'll watch it, maybe 1 or 2 people, She just gave me that courage. I was like, okay then, let's go. That was how Prestigious Talk Show came to be. So here we are today. We have a beautiful audience with us, and we have people actually helping us. The vision is actually in reality now. So I'm also using this media, I'm using myself as an example to reach out to you. If you are still afraid and you have something to do, please be empowered. Use my own example to actually elevate yourself. You can do it. Don't silence your voice, because that is even the worst, because you will think about it and you will feel bad, and you will feel that self-fulfillment will not be there anymore. So that is how I was able to actually conquer my fear. It is good to actually have positive people around you. It is very important.
Very important.
It is.
And it's also important, like Alicia said, to sometimes have to look within, because there will be people that love you and family members, and they will discourage you because they've never done it before.
Yes.
Or no one in their society has done it before. No one in your family has done it before. But you have to sometimes look within and say, no, I know who I am. I know my self-value. God would not give you something if you're not able to do it.
Yes.
And the mere fact that you have a desire means that you're able to do it, and you should just go ahead. And sometimes you just have to jump in the deep end. You have fear. Because it's true. It's true. You said I met Faith, and I had the same, I had the same dream, and I had fear because I think, oh, I can't do it. I have a baby. But you have to sometimes, there's a quote that says, anything worth doing is worth doing bad. So even if you're not sure you know what to do, it's first just start.
Yeah.
And then things are going to flow from there.
Yeah.
So, and it's good to see other people doing things, and then you feel like, hey, I can do this as well.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Fear is actually one of the major ones. Then that fear comes with a little bit of nurturing that people give their children, especially their female children. Like there are some homes where female children are not allowed to really express themselves. So that fear over time now becomes deep-seated in them, and they are not able to express themselves. So I would say that the woman that is disempowered, must have been disempowered right from within, you understand, right from their home.
Yeah.
So I am also using the opportunity to talk to parents.
Yes.
Let your kids express themselves whatever way they want to express themselves. And there's a difference between expressing your talent and also trying to correct a child. You understand? Let them make their mistakes. You understand? If they make their mistakes, then you can correct them, through that mistake.
Yeah.
But if you don't allow them to make that mistake, then there will be no correction, and the fear will be deep-seated in them. Like I'm using myself as an example. Like when I was growing up back home in Nigeria, I never really had that opportunity to really express my talent. So I felt I had no talent, you understand, within me. I felt I hadn't. But then, my parents died early. When I went to school in Calabar, I attended University of Calabar. I met people that told me I was intelligent. I never really believed that I was. You understand? I was in university this time around. You understand me? But within me, I never really. Before you get to the university in Nigeria, you must have
Pass through a lot.
You understand me?
Yes.
But because my dad wasn't really there. There was really nobody to push you up. Though I was passing, but I never really felt myself as intelligent human being. You understand me?
Yeah.
But then, whenever I met these Christian brothers and sisters, whenever I talk, they say, even when I never felt I was intelligent, they told me I was intelligent, so I was not able to feed on my intelligence. You understand? That brought me here today. So that's what I'm trying to say. Is the validation and the
reassurance.
Deep-seated fear you have in you, will bring it out, and you will be able to express yourself. This guy is. I had a brother that said then that, hey, you are above the sky. It's not even your limit. It's beyond the. That's what he will always say. I still remember. He said, I said no. When you say, people will say, "Oh, come! I'm coming behind you." He will say, "No, I'm in front of you." You understand that?
Positive.
In Nigeria we have this kind of expression. Say, "Okay, you go. I'm coming behind." He said, "No, I'm not coming behind you. I'm in front of you. So you follow me." Those kind of little validation help me to spring up. So it's very important. Parents, speaking to parents, let your kids make all the mistakes that they can make. Then they will learn from it, and then they will be more self-confident.
Thank you very much. That was very deep, and thanks for actually using your own lived experience to actually encourage our audience out there. I really appreciate the fact that you were able to talk to our audience. And you can, from what you said, I just picked something. We have to constantly validate and reassure people around us, because those little things can actually help. Just tell somebody what you've done is really good. That can help them. Instead of giving a feedback that is very discouraging, you have to give a constructive feedback. I used Felicia, that was my guest before, as an example, how she was able to give me constructive feedback, and I used that feedback to actually enhance myself and how I do things. If she was mad about it and she said, "Oh my God, no, I don't know that this is how you guys operate," maybe I will be feeling bad, and I'll have can affect me. But she was able to tell me, "No, don't worry, it's okay. I'm not angry, just in case of next time." I have actually used that to build myself. And once again, thank you, Felicia.
When Catherine was speaking, there was something that resonated with me when it comes to parenting and trying to empower their kids before actually becoming the women empowerment that we're discussing here. I remember growing up back home, my dad used to tell me you're the most beautiful girl in the whole wide world. So that got to my head. So it's true.
Yeah.
So when I go to anywhere, the fact that they're saying some girls are ugly doesn't come to me because my dad has told me
Yeah.
on and over and over and over that you are the most beautiful girl in town and in the whole wide world. So it's very good for us to lay that foundation so that our kids don't have low self-esteem. Up to today, I may be the only black in the office. Guess what? I'm going to be the loudest. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't see that. I just do me.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel, oh, because I'm black or because I'm ugly or because I'm fat. No.
Yeah.
Because first and foremost, I don't believe that I'm ugly. So that was a very well point. We as parents, we
Lay the
should,
foundation.
we should lay that foundation to empower our kids to become
A better person in the future.
better women or better men in
Yeah.
the future. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, that's why I said thank you very much. You see, we have to do this more of a discussion. Yeah, because it's very important. I know they have a lot, but they've taken a lot from this discussion we've been on since. But if you have any specific recommendation
Or advice?
advice that will help our audience, from your own perspectives, as an entrepreneur, as a student, you've done this, you have different experiences, and you have different degrees, you are an expert in different area. And when it comes to medical area, I know you have that expertise, social worker on the line. And again, I really thought if you're watching and you are thinking of selling houses and you go like, can I buy and sell houses? I think those are for men. No. We have this beautiful lady. She is a realtor. She will be able to advise you. And I can look at this beautiful lady. She is really beautiful, and her other name is Beauty. She is a social worker. She's an expert. So if you want her advice, she's going to give you 1 or 2 tips. Please keep them so tight. Cherish them. Okay, so we are going to ask them one by one. Please, what advice do you have for our audience?
I'm speaking as a student.
Okay.
Do I have other? But the thing is, I just wanted to take that next step. Don't let anything keep you behind. I have a degree in sociology, but my dream is to be a social worker.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to. When I was thinking about reapplying again, there were people that would say, oh, you already have a degree. Why do you want to just go for your master's and go for this, go for that? But I know that if I go for the master, it's going to take me extra time to get into social work, and it's not going to be actually what I wanted to do. So I decided to take the next step of going in for social work.
Yes.
Even though people were telling me you're not going to be taking, oh, it's so tight, their criteria is so high up there. Yeah. They only take about 2 or 3 students. Yeah, they took about 2 or 3 students. I was one of that students that they took in the School of Social Work.
Yes, yes.
And I happened to meet a lecturer that read my personal statement. She was one of my lecturer, and when she saw me write, after giving one of my assignments to her, she said, I read something like this before. Is that you are saying that I'm catching? You say, oh, I love the personal statement.
Okay.
So maybe they have just taken me because based on my personal statement. My personal statement was my true life story. Okay. I never added anything concerning academics.
It wasn't fiction.
It wasn't fiction. It was just my true life story. And she was very impressed with that.
Wow.
So I'm just saying, whatever you want to do, take that next step.
Yes.
That's my advice to you. Don't sit down, because if you sit down, you're not going to achieve your aim. You're not going to achieve your goal, but just take the next step. And know what you want to do and take the next step. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Catherine.
Just to build on that, while you're taking the next step, try not to make yourself busy with unnecessary stuff. I'm guilty of that, I would make myself just excuses after excuses after excuses. Oh, I have to go do this. Oh, I have to go do that. Oh, I need to go do this. Oh, I need to go do that, because I was afraid to face what I really truly wanted for my life. So when you are aware of what you want to do, take the next step, but then don't be afraid, and don't create or talk yourself out of it with excuses.
That's another good one. Because sometimes we don't even realize, we try to excuse ourselves from it. You know what, it's not time yet. When the time comes, I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's actually a form of procrastination, which is really bad. It's a big barrier for most of us. I'm also guilty of it, but I am learning. I'm still learning, and I'm trying to, you know, pull myself together and say, no, you want this, you have to go for it.
Yeah.
So I set boundaries and say, you know what, I set a goal for myself and said, Faith, this thing, you have to do it, and you need to do it now. So
you
thank
need
you.
to be focused,
Focus,
you need determination.
Yeah.
And you know, as women, naturally we are nurturing and we care about everybody else,
Yes.
our family and everybody else like that around us, but we have to consciously take the time out to carve our own self and put ourselves as number one, like as important, you know, and actually take care of ourselves, our mind, our bodies, our spirits, everything, and then we'll be able to really truly focus on what we need to focus on.
Sure.
I think my advice would definitely be, number one, not to listen to stereotypes in the media, because there's so many things. Black women are this, black women are that. You know, black women can't do this, black women can't do that. And I think it's really, really important to look within and decide, who am I and what is my value, and not what everyone else says, but who am I and what do I want to bring to the world. And when I went for real estate is a very male-dominated world. And I went to do my broker's license, and I was the only black person in the room. I was also the youngest person in the room, and I just had, my sister was really sick, and I was helping her to get back on her feet, so I didn't even have time to study. And I find, like, a lot of life circumstances happen for women as well. We say there's fear and there's a lot of things, but there's a lot of things women have to do, and we have to keep a home, we have to keep a baby, and it kind of pulls you back. But I want you to know that even in those life circumstances, to look at the strength from that, because you gave birth to a baby. You were able to take care of a baby. You were able to do a home. You know, and sometimes people look at that as a barrier, but I want you to take from that strength, because it takes a strong person to be able to do that, and that. Those are things that you're going to need in business. Those are things that are going to make you be successful. And just stay true to yourself. Do your own path. And just do what you feel is right within yourself. Keep going. Find your own path. And also read. Do development. Do classes. The more you read, the more you develop. I put a lot of time into myself, a lot of personal development, just like you said. Like, we need to take time out to read for ourselves, to learn, to educate ourselves. And the more you educate yourself, your life is just going to change tremendously.
You are your best investment.
Yes, really.
Very good.
She's using that business. She's saying you are your best
personal development.
You are your best investment, right?
Yeah, you're right.
That's really good. You have to invest in yourself.
Yeah, definitely
wow.
important. Yeah.
Anyway, you guys have said it all.
Oh my goodness.
I think the only thing I can add in all this is just be confident in yourself. And because you know who you are, no matter the challenges, hold on to your goal, you know, regardless of obstacles. Try to think positively, like you said, because if you think positively, guess what is going to be on your table? Because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So when you do the negative, that's what is going to come to you. So I think that's what I said.
Goodness, I feel like, oh my God, I am so blessed to have these 4 gorgeous, lovely ladies. They are not just only lovely, they have it up here. They are very intelligent. They are self-developed. They have they've invested in themselves. And I'm proud to have you in the studio. And I'm looking forward to have you back. Thank you very much for coming to Prestigious Talk Show. We'll be looking forward to have you back. We'll have more discussions in the future. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So before we leave, I would like to tell my audience out there, if you've been watching, please do not forget to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram. And once again, don't forget, you're not alone. We'll see you next time. Stay tuned. Prestigious Talk Show.
Stay tuned. I'm your host, Faith Adodo.
Prestigious Talk Show. We are bringing hot topics and discussing community issues with topics that matter. If you would like to be guest or be part of the live studio, audience, or even sponsor, go to www.prestigioustalkshow.com or email us at prestigioustalkshow@gmail.com. At the Prestigious Talk Show, remember, you are not alone. Thank you.